All right, cool. It looks like we are officially live. Welcome, everybody, to my weekly Sunday live stream where I go live here on YouTube and I answer y'all's questions. I always really look forward to doing these. I really appreciate everybody's support. This channel and this community is just absolutely amazing. I have been incredibly busy this past week. I've been busy gigging like crazy and teaching a lot, so I'm very thankful for all the work. Thank you to all the supporters out there that have been watching my videos as of late. The channel is growing and the views are just, really going crazy. So I really do appreciate it. And, I just always love doing these live streams. I love just connecting with everybody and just showing my gratitude and to everybody out there that watches my videos. It just really means the world to me. And, I'm forever thankful to all the supporters out there. But if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. This past weekend, I have been incredibly busy, and just this past week in general, it's just been wild. Like I was saying, I played two gigs yesterday. I played yesterday morning here in town in Nashville, and then immediately left that gig and went out to Lexington, Kentucky, which is only about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like this from Nashville, depending on the traffic. So it wasn't too far away, but it was just a long day. So I'm really kind of dragging here today. I've been getting in a lot of rest, but I'm definitely a little bit out of it. So if, it seems like I'm a little tired, just please understand because it has just been really chaotic. But it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing a bunch and I've been learning a lot of new music. And it's just been wonderful. So, it's been really cool. I have a bunch of stuff coming up this week as well. I have a lot of friends in town. So this time of the year here in Nashville, it always gets real exciting. It's always really fun because there's a lot of people in town, a lot of people coming down to visit. And downtown has just been absolutely crazy. I mean, even just driving through downtown, man, the traffic and just the amount of people that are out right now is just amazing. So slow season is definitely over with for sure. But man, it's just been amazing. So, this gig that I did yesterday at 11 in the morning, I mean, it was just packed. It was just slamming. So it was a lot of fun and really cool. And it's just, again, just a really fun time of the year here in Nashville. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I've just been gigging and teaching a lot of students from here on YouTube. So I've been really busy with that. Just been learning a lot of new tunes, a lot of new music. I've worked with some new bands as well, which has been really cool and really exciting. And, I've met some really cool people as of late. So that's been really cool. And it's always interesting. I think a lot of people don't really realize how often that this happens here in Nashville as a musician. But, I think there's a lot of people that think that, I work with these bands all the time. And, of course there are bands that I work with a lot, but a lot of the time, I could just be meeting these guys for the very first time. We've never met and we're literally just meeting up at the bus call or the van call or whatever it is that we're traveling in. And we're literally meeting up for the very first time and about to go and hit the road and play down this gig. So for you as the musician, you're expected to just do your homework, show up, learn the material, and just deliver on stage, So this is something that I do all of the time here in Nashville, and it's really a requirement as a musician here. You really have to be able to study the music, learn it down very quickly, and that could also be another thing too, where, some of these artists, maybe it's like an emergency situation where maybe their regular guitar player had to go to the emergency room or something like this, or, whatever happens, it, can be one of those things where like they need somebody within 2 or 3 days. So you have to learn an hour and a half set list, literally within 2 or 3 days. So, with zero rehearsal, zero anything, you don't even know these people, so that's something that I do all of the time. I mean, I am literally out on the road every single weekend. I'm playing somewhere. So I'm constantly gigging, constantly doing this stuff. And, it's really just a requirement as a musician. You know, you have to be able to learn this stuff very quickly, and you just got to do your homework, show up, and deliver. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people think that, you know, with these bands that I work with, like they figure like, oh, well, you guys play together all the time. And whenever I tell people that, they're always like amazed. They're like, wait, what? You guys have never played together, you know? So it's just always pretty wild. But, you know, that's just a required thing. You have to be able to do this as a musician, you know. That's why I have a little home studio here in town. And, man, I listen down to the music. I really get detailed with the guitar tone. And I really try to listen into all of the guitar parts and really play it down just like the record. So it's something I do all the time. And again, it's just a required skill as a musician here in Nashville. But let's see here. We've got the sound purist in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Says here, dude, you have relaxing voice and topic. I listen to you right before going to sleep, and it helps, I'm sure. Interesting. Cool, man. Well, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, folks, you know, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. You know, I've been trying to experiment with these live streams. I used to do them first thing in the morning, but it's just been so difficult for me to be able to make that work, because I just travel so much. And a lot of the time I will be home at that time, but I'm honestly just so tired after the whole weekend, you know, from all the travel and performing and just running around. So I just really need to get rest, and it's just really difficult for me to be able to get that 11:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. Live stream in, you know, because I'm just so exhausted that it's just really hard for me to do that. So I just kind of figured like 7 p.m. would be a good time just to be able to consistently do these weekly live streams on a more consistent basis of just every Sunday at 7. So just let me know, you know, if you guys, you know, like this time, if you guys would like to change up the time, you know, just let me know. I would love to get some feedback. You know, it's just hard for me with my schedule again, with traveling as much as I do. Once again, it's just hard to get these Sunday live streams in. But, you know, I think this has been working, and it looks like we're definitely getting some more people joining up here. So I definitely appreciate everybody's support. But let's see. We have Larry in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Says here, hey man, just moved to Nashville. Just want to say thanks for all the informative videos. Definitely helped my decision to move. Much love, brother. Thanks so much, Larry. Appreciate that, man. That's awesome, man. Best of luck to you, man, for sure. I hope you you enjoy Nashville, you know, and best of luck, man, for sure. That's cool. I respect that, man. That's cool. Yeah, it's you know, that's something that not very many people would do, man. Just pick up and leave everything behind and move on down to Nashville or to a town where, you know, they don't know anybody. I mean, I remember doing that, you know, God, it was 10 years ago already now at this point. It's crazy, man. Hard to believe. But yeah, man. I mean, it's that's a ballsy move, man, for sure. And that's cool. I respect that. Definitely. But best of luck to you, man. And thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. But yeah, once again, folks, you know, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. These live streams are really all for you guys. You know, I just like to show my appreciation to everybody out there that watch my videos. It really means the world to me. And, you know, this community has just been absolutely incredible. And YouTube has completely changed my life. You know, all of the fans out there and all the people that support me. You know, I could not do this without you guys. So I'm forever thankful to everybody out there, all my students, and everybody that contributes to the Venmo and PayPal tip jars, all the people that take my lessons. Once again, I mean, everybody that just supports me. It's just been really amazing, and this community is just full of love, you know, and it's just awesome. And I've met so many people here that have run into me, whether I've been out on the road or if I'm here in town, just at the grocery store or whatever. I mean, it's just wild, man. It's just amazing what this has turned into. So I'm forever thankful to everybody out there that watch the videos. And, you know, once again, these live streams are all for you guys. You know, I just like to give back, and whatever questions you guys have for me, feel free to throw it there in the chat box. And if you guys do want to support the channel yourself, you know, check out all of the links that I have down below in the description box. You know, I have a Venmo or PayPal tip jar. I have a new Patreon page I just set up, and I do offer one-on-one online lessons. So check out all that stuff. Sipping on some coffee here, folks. I'm just a little jet lagged, man. I'm tired. I'm really tired, to be honest, but I'm here and happy to be here. But let's see here. Orchard Park Band is in the house. Thomas Moore, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for being here. Says here, can you talk about how you set an overdrive pedal, the gain, the levels, etc.? Yeah, man, sure. You know, I don't really like obsess too much about the gear. You know, I have a few overdrive pedals that I like, you know, depending on the kind of music that I'm playing. That's really what it really comes down to as far as what I choose for these drives and what I use, because it really depends on the style of music. If it's more kind of heavier, you know, country rock music, that's going to be something different. Or if it's something where I'm playing a telly that needs to be a lot cleaner and have a lot less gain, then that's going to, you know, change up what I choose, you know, obviously. But I really like the Nobles ODR1, of course. That's a great overdrive. I've really been liking this Bogner Lagrange pedal, it's called. It's based on a Plexi. And man, I've been using that, and I'll plug it into whatever backline amp I get. I mean, I had a twin reverb the other night. I had a deluxe Tone Master, a deluxe reverb, you know, all of these different Fender amps, and it really doesn't matter whatever the hell I plug it up into. I mean, it just sounds killer. So I just love it. And for years, I used to use the Bogner Blue overdrive, but you know, I kind of got a little tired of it. I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. So I ended up going with this Lagrange, and man, I got to tell you what, man, this thing, it is just amazing, man. It sounds great. But yeah, so that's really the start of it, you know, is what kind of music am I playing? So that's how I pick either the Nobles or the Bogner, or I also do have a King of Tone here as well. Now, for me, with most pedal boards, I like to have at least two different gain stages. One that is EQ'd a certain way with a certain amount of gain, and then another pedal that has a totally different amount of gain and a totally different EQ, just to have the versatility and the flexibility, once again, depending on the song and the music that I'm playing. So the way that I do it is I take my Fender Deluxe Reverb or a Twin or whatever it is I'm plugged up into, and I just turn them up, man. I turn them up to like 3 or 4 on the volume. I'll set the bass and treble on, so the bass on 3, the treble on 5, and the Twin Reverb has a middle control as well, so I'll just leave that at 5. But yeah, man, I just turn them up, and then I just hit the overdrive pedal on, and I'll take the gain and turn it all the way down, just turn it down to 0, and then just slowly bring up the amount of gain just to taste. And normally for me, with the gain, I'm very careful in how much that I put on. A lot of players play with way too much gain, and that's something that I've talked about a lot here on this channel. You really don't need that much gain when you have the volume up on the amp, and it's going to sound way better when you just turn up the amp, because you get the power amp section working. And now when you hit that overdrive pedal, it's just going to be this nice warm guitar tone, you know. It's not going to be bright and brittle like if you have the volume down real low. It just doesn't sound good because you're not moving air, and again, you're not working the power amp section when you have it down real low. So you got to turn up the amps and move some air. And, you know, then from there, just dial in the gain to taste once you have the volume up on the amp. And, you know, that's pretty much it, man, really. I mean, it's very simple. Just dial in the amount of gain to taste. For me, I like to also elevate the amount of gain that I play with. So I have an RC booster as well that I like to run before my drive pedals. And then I normally have a Boss EQ that, you know, I'll kick on for leads and stuff. So I'll add on a little bit of mid-range. But, you know, with this Bogner Lagrange pedal, it already has a boost on there. So you can just use the boost, and you can, you know, get a little bit more gain and level out of the drive pedal. So it's really cool. But yeah, that seems to work for me, you know. And then for me, with the instruments, I normally bring a Les Paul. I have a Tele and a Strat, and it just works really well, you know. Of course, depends on the music, you know. So sometimes I'll bring out some other instruments depending on the songs and the parts and stuff. But you know, that's really all I use, man. It's the Bogner Lagrange, an original Ram Nobles ODR1 that I've had for years, a King of Tone, and I never use the ODR or the King of Tone together ever. It's either one or the other, but again, it's just to have a different gain stage and a totally different EQ. So, you know, I'll use one or the other, but then I also have the RC boost just so that I have somewhere to go with the amount of gain that I'm playing with. I'm never just stuck within one particular amount of gain. I have a lot of different options. So, that's really how I dial that up. And again, just turn up the amp, you know, turn it up to 3 or 4 if you're plugged up to a deluxe or something, and just move some air. You know, it just sounds way better. So, but let's see here. Orchard Park says here, my wife just got me a Princeton with a 12-inch Celestion, and it sounds awesome. That's great, man. Killer. Yeah, those sound awesome, man. The Princeton reverbs are just awesome. They sound great. So enjoy that, man. That's awesome. Cool gift. But let's see here. The Sound Purist says here, me too, very almost imperceptible, small amount of gain that adds itself to the actual amp's gain anyway. Yeah, man, you really don't need very much gain, you know. It's just what happens is when you play down so low on the volume of the amp, you're not working that power amp section at all, you know. So that's why like people feel that they need so much gain, but and it's just, it doesn't sound good either, you know. When the amp is down low like that, it's so bright and just brittle and just a terrible guitar sound. To be honest, it's just awful. So yeah, it's just not good. And then it says here, almost not boosted. Yeah. Orchard Park says, thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. And Sound Purist says, it serves to purpose of decreasing the guitar's volume to me. Yeah, cool, man. Let's see. We've got 615, the guitar in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Long time no see, man. How's things? Good to see you here. It says here, hey, man, how's the new Tele treating you? Man, it's been really cool, man. I've actually got it up here. I'll share it with y'all. It's awesome, man. It's just a Tele. It's one of these road-worn Telecasters. Here, I'll move this comment for a second. It's one of these road-worn. This is one of the first generation Teles. And I've talked a lot about these instruments on my channel here. You know, these guitars are amazing. They're amazing for the money, man. You can normally find them for around like $1,000 or $800, $900, something like this. And they're just phenomenal instruments, man. I've already taken this thing out and I've already been gigging it. And it's just been wonderful, man. This thing is so lightweight and these pickups just sound great. You know, I'm not crazy about the neck pickup, but I never really am with Telecasters, to be honest. But so I mainly just stay on the bridge pickup here. But I tell you what, man, it sounds so good, man. It's just wonderful. I had to intonate the high E string. But other than that, man, this guitar is set up and ready to go, man. It plays great. It's very light. And I've just been really enjoying it. So what I'm going to do now going forward out on the road is I have this triple guitar vault. And I'm just going to bring this out, my Strat, and I have a Les Paul. And of course, it'll depend on the gig and the music that I'm playing. But that's kind of going to be like home base, I think, for me. Like for the majority of the music and the gigs that I get hired on for, I could pretty much get away with just doing that and just using those 3 guitars. So that's what I'm just going to be doing. So this will be one of them here. And I'm so thankful that the thing actually made it in one piece, because I just took a chance on it and I bought it online. I didn't even play it before, buying it. And the guys that sent me this, they literally just had like 2 layers of bubble wrap just around the whole guitar. And the guitar the headstock was actually pointed down to the bottom of the box. So I'm just amazed that it actually made it in one piece. But I looked it over, man, and there was no damage. There was nothing like real bad or anything. So it made it, you know. But it definitely was not packed well at all. So I'm very thankful that it actually made it in one piece here. It's just pretty mind blowing to me how people can send something like that out. I mean, I would not feel good about that if I packed a guitar like that, you know, with just two thin layers of bubble wrap, and the headstock was pointing down to the bottom of the box. So it was pretty wild. But the thing made it, and man, it really kicks ass. So I'm really glad it made it. I've just been really digging this guitar so much, man. It's just excellent. And I'm actually buying a Strat tomorrow. That's a first generation Strat as well. And that's also something that I would say to folks out there. This guitar is a first generation road worn Fender. So that would be from like 2008 to 2009. And if you guys can find one of those instruments, I really, really recommend buying them because they're just amazing, man. For the money, they are so good. And, you know, they started changing stuff up later on with those road worn instruments. So I really try to just stay with the very first generation, so 2008s or 2009s. And how you tell that is you look at the serial number. I'll try to get that to focus in. Ah, damn it. Oh, well, I can't get it to focus in. But, you know, it's just that the serial number is just MZ9. And that's how you tell, you know, if it's a 2009. It'll be MZ9 or MZ8. And 8 would just be 2008. So if you find one of these, you know, definitely try it out and see how you like it, you know. But I tell you what, man, these first gen road worn Fenders are just spectacular. They're excellent. Excellent guitars. And to be honest, I think they're actually better than the Custom Shop USA Fenders that they're making now, in my humble opinion. So, you know, I paid about $1,000 for this thing, and I just absolutely love it. So, really cool guitar. Super light and just sounds killer. But let's see here. Where the hell was I? Here we go. Yeah. How's the new telly treating you? Yeah, so that's been really cool. And OAEO is in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. It says here, yeah, new telly time. Yeah, man, for sure. It's you just can't go wrong with the telly, man. It's one of the best instruments ever, man. So versatile. You could really do just about anything with it. So, let's see. We've got DJ Mind Trip in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. See, it says here, how do you set up tremolo on Strat, decked or floating? I like to leave it floating. I normally like to leave it where if I can get up like a minor third, that's normally how I like it. But so I'll leave it floating. And I like to throw the trem arm on there every now and again too, just to get a little shake out of the guitar, you know, just to get a little something out of it. Especially like on a chorus or something, like if I'm holding out a chord on a chorus, you know, I can just get a little shake off of the trem, you know, and it just sounds great. So I always leave it floating. Sound Pierce says, I want a telly. Yeah, man, you got to get you one. You know, you got to have a telly. I mean, if you're a guitar player, you have to have a telly. It's just crucial. It's absolutely crucial. Let's see. We've got a super chat here from OAE. Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate that. Give you some sound effects. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Really means the world to me. And, you know, once again, folks, if you guys would like to support the channel, you know, I don't make anything off of these live streams whatsoever, you know, so any and all contributions are really, really appreciated. You know, I have several links linked down below in the description box. Whether you throw a little love in the PayPal or Venmo tip jar, or even a super chat here in today's live stream. You know, I do also offer one-on-one online lessons, and you're actually seeing and hearing the exact setup that I use for these one-on-one lessons. You know, it's all shot on a 4K camera, and it's all pro video and pro audio. it's not just something that's just filmed on an iPhone 11 that's just half-assed or something, and it's really expensive. Like, I really charge a very fair price, and it's very high quality stuff. And what's really cool with these lessons is that you'll actually get a recorded copy of the lesson itself at the very end. So I'll send you an email, and you could just simply download the video and rewatch it as many times as you want. So it's really awesome. So for more info on this, hit me up. My email is jkm4231@gmail.com. It's also linked down below in the description box. Thanks for listening. But let's see here. We have Doug Murray in the house. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Hey, good evening, everybody. Says here, if you only get to take one guitar out with you for a show, what are you taking? Thanks. Oh, man, that's a hard question, man. It really depends on the music, man. That's the biggest thing. It's very hard to say. Of course, a Telecaster here in Nashville is going to work a lot of the time. You could really do just about anything with a Tele, but it's hard, man. Like, because, especially what they call modern country nowadays is not really country. It's a lot of rock and roll and pop. So for me, I like to normally bring out either a Les Paul or a Tele. I was talking a little bit ago about my new setup with touring. I have this triple guitar vault where I can throw 3 guitars in there, and it's all just in one case, and the guitars just live in there, so I could just throw them in the trailer. And what's really cool with this case is that I can just use it as like a guitar boat on stage. So I just take the lid off, and the guitars just live in there, which is really cool. And it works as a guitar stand. So it's a triple guitar vault, but it's also a guitar stand as well. And it's all on wheels and stuff, which is really cool. But that's going to be like kind of my go-to setup with touring with guitars is I'm just going to have a Les Paul, a Tele, and a Strat in there. And the guitars will just live in there. And, I can just bring that out. So whatever the song is or whatever the guitar tones are on the music, I can very easily select between those instruments, But if I only had to take one guitar out, it's hard to say, but I would have to say either a Les Paul or a Tele. If I had it my way, I would always pick a Les Paul just because I'm more of a Gibson guy and always will be. It just feels more comfortable to me, and I just like the way that Gibsons sound, especially like the R9s. The custom buckers sound really good. They're real chirpy and just kind of like a fatter Tele, and I like that sound, and that's just for me what I like. I get inspired by that sound, and when I'm hearing how good everything sounds, it makes me play a lot better as well because my ears are responding to the guitar tone, and I'm very tone dependent as well, and even on stage, if I can't hear my guitar or it just doesn't sound good, it's not EQ'd right from front of house or monitors, it just really, really affects me in my playing and my ears, So everything really has to sound right for me. And when everything does sound right, man, I am playing just my ass off because I'm so inspired by the guitar tone. And it's a huge thing. And, it's why I love vintage guitars as well, I just love the way that those pickups sound and the old wood and stuff. And there's something about when you pick up those old instruments, it's just inspiring to create and to play. And that's what a lot of very novice musicians don't understand. They don't understand that inspiration. As a creative person, we're always looking for that inspiration, however we can find it, if it's from the instrument or from the tone or whatever it is, So that's always for me. I'm always looking for the inspiration, But only one guitar, just to get back to your question here. I know it's kind of a long-winded answer here. But it would have to be a Les Paul or a Tele. So, but probably a Les Paul if I had it my way. But anyways, 615 says here, holy cow, man, sounds like you got lucky. Sweet guitar. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, for sure, man. It was wild, man. I thought about maybe making a little video because I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, whoa, man, I've never seen a guitar sound like that ever, I'm amazed it made it in one piece because there was literally two thin layers of bubble wrap and just some paper on the bottom. And the guitar wasn't in a case or nothing. It was just bubble wrapped with two thin layers. And the headstock was pointing to the ground, to the bottom of the box. So I'm amazed it made it in one piece. But it's here, and it really kicks ass. I'm really glad it made it in one piece because it's really good, man. The nut is perfect. It's not doesn't need any filing or nothing. It's set up really well. It's very light, and the bridge pickup sounds killer, man. I love it. So, let's see. DJ says here, do you think compensated saddles for tellies are necessary? Yeah, man, I think so. And it's funny you say that. That I'm actually gonna go and put those on this guitar. I'm gonna go over to Glazers and buy those saddles that they make over there. So I'm gonna throw that on there just to get the intonation just completely dead on perfect. So I'm gonna definitely go and check and throw those on there for sure. But yeah, I forget the Music City Bridge, the company. That's the company I'm talking about over at Joe Glazer's there. So I'm gonna go over there and see if they got them and throw them on this telly. But let's see. I've tried several compensated brass saddles, but always come back to Fender straight saddle. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way. I really like the Music City Bridge stuff. And those saddles that they make are the best that I've tried. So I'm just going to put that on this telly. But let's see here. Orchard Park says here, I have a Les Paul Special Custom Shop 57. Would one of those Music City bridges make a huge difference? It's pretty close intonated, but the string is out a bit. Yeah, you just have to get one. The Music City bridge, if you're playing a Les Paul Special, you have to have one, because you'll never get it perfectly intonated. So, yeah, you just have to get one. I mean, it's a requirement. If you have a junior, a special, anything, you have to get the Music City bridge. It's the ultimate. It's the only way you can get those guitars to be perfectly intonated. That's the only way to do it. Because the original bridge, it's just a flawed design. Totally flawed design. So, yeah, that's the only way. And any guitar I've ever had, whether it's been a 56 Junior, this 60 TV Yellow Special, that's the first thing I do. And even those original bridges on those guitars, they're awful, man. Like, it'll make this like sitaring sound where like on the high E string, I remember I had a 56 Junior that did that with the original bridge, and it just sounds like shit, it's awful. So you got to put those on, man. And I tell you, like, the Music City bridge, you put that on and it will not do that. It fixes all of the issues with a junior and a special. So you definitely have to get one. DJ says here, what year is your R9 Les Paul? Man, it is a 2014 or a 2024. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I'm a little out of it. I was traveling a bunch this weekend. I've been playing a ton. So, but yeah, I literally got it last year. It's a great guitar. I've had a couple R9s over the years. I sold my last one to a producer here in town, and I kind of regret that. That was a really good guitar. But this R9 that I have here now is great, I think they're great guitars. They're insanely expensive, to be honest. But they're just great instruments. They're pretty consistent. They're lightweight. They have those custom Bucker pickups. Of course, it's not going to be like a real 59 or, a real Burst Les Paul, but, it's not 300,000 or 400,000, which is nuts, so, for me, it just works. The R9s are cool. I really like those guitars. They're all a little bit different, so you got to find the perfect one. Just got to make sure that that nut is not binding up, the strings aren't binding up in the nut slots there. And make sure it's not too heavy, because some of them can be a little heavy. But mine is about like 8 pounds, so I find that to be pretty much perfect for a Les Paul. So I really like it. It works well. Let's see. Orchard Park says here, do you need the locking studs to go with it? I don't even know if I have those. I don't think I have those. I think I just have the original studs on my guitar. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to just, get them, just to have. But hell, I don't even remember. I don't even think I have those. But this Les Paul Special it's perfectly intonated, It's killer. But let's see. DJ says here, yeah, I think new unwaxed custom buckers sounds better than waxed ones prior 2017. Oh man, I didn't even know that actually, that they did that back prior, 2017. That's cool. Yeah, I gotta say, I really like the way that this guitar sounds. Just stay away from the Murphy Lab instruments that were made in like 2021, 2022. I've heard some things just out on the street that they had a lot of finish issues with those, and like the finish will start like flaking off of them. So I would really try to stay away from those. But if you find like a new one, like a 2024, or especially from this year, they've really fixed that issue. I think they've kept that on the down low for sure. But I've just heard a lot of stuff like just out on the street that they had a lot of finish issues with those particular years. Like when they first started doing the new Murphy Labs, they have some finish issues. So just be on the lookout for that if you're going to get one. And hell, if you are going to get one, click my damn Sweetwater affiliate link. It's a really cool way to support the channel. I just get a small little commission off of the sale, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So check that out down below in the description box. Sweetwater will hook you up. Oh, man. Man, we have a really great crowd here today, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the hell out of this. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. These live streams are all for you guys. It's all about you guys. I just like to give back to everybody. And, I do want to take the time to mention here, folks, that I don't make anything on these live streams. I mean, it's literally a donation of time. So any and all support is really appreciated. If you guys want to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar, or even a super chat here in today's live stream, any and all support is really appreciated. And I do want to take the time to mention as well that I offer one-on-one online lessons. I teach people from all over the world, and they're all really pro quality, high quality lessons. It's literally studio quality. I mean, it's pro video and pro audio. And what's so cool with these lessons is that you'll actually get a recorded copy of the lesson itself. So you could just simply download the video after we're done, and you could rewatch the video as many times as you want. It's not half-assed. It's not filmed on an iPhone 11 or something like this, and it looks and sounds terrible. It's really, really well done. And the platform is just absolutely amazing. And honestly, I think it is better than actually having a physical in-person lesson, because you actually get the recorded copy, so you could always rewatch it. So for more info on this, hit me up today at jkm4231@gmail.com. It's also going to be linked down below in the description box. Just send me an email. That's my personal email, and I'd be happy to get you down in the books today. Thanks so much for listening. Let's see. OAE. Man, that's just a hard name to say, man. Damn. But he says, it says here, after many newer ODR ones, I finally traded up for a vintage one. It's ended my Overdrive search. Yeah, man, the old Nobles, there's nothing like them, and even the old ones, they're all a little bit different. If you line like 10 or 20 of them up, I used to have like 15 of them. I used to collect them. and every single one sounded different, you know. And I've just settled on this Ram Nobles. I just have my pedal board here. It's why I'm looking down. Ram Nobles ODR one that I just absolutely love. I think it just sounds absolutely amazing, and it's like the ultimate overdrive. You know, it's a low to medium gain drive, and especially if you hit it with the RC boost before, it's really cool because you just get a little bit more gain. And I actually prefer that rather than the ODR1 Plus, which has a boost built into it. I actually like the RC because you have a two-band EQ. So you could go in there and dial in, you know, more treble, take some low end out, add a little bit of gain, you know, and it's just really flexible. And those two pedals together just work amazing, man. They just sound amazing. And especially when you have the GE7 after that, and add a little bit of mid-range, oh man, it's like the perfect tone, man. It's perfect. It's killer. So you really can't go wrong. I mean, that plugged up into a deluxe reverb is killer. It's really all you need. And then from there, just use whatever instrument. I mean, a Tele, a Les Paul, a Strat. It's very, very flexible depending on whatever guitar you plug up into it. But he also says here, I got a through tone rehoused one. It's awesome. That's cool. Awesome, man. Great. Yeah, that's definitely the thing. Like the original enclosures can be really, you know, they're not really built the greatest. Like they don't really hold up. I mean, I'm very careful with mine. You know, I try to just step on it very lightly. But the rehousing is cool. But the only thing with those rehousing enclosures, man, I gotta say, like, they like go way overkill with how like big the pedal is and like how durable it is. Like you don't need to make it that crazy. At least I don't think, just for my own opinion. You know, so but that is definitely the thing with those originals. You know, they're not really built the greatest, but you know, I've had this Ram Nobles for years, and it holds up. And man, the originals are so different from the new ones. You know, it's not even close to being the same pedal. So they're just completely different. But really, that said, I mean, you know, the gear just really doesn't matter, you know. And that's the thing. Like, I understand, like, you know, the gear is a little part of it, you know, and you need to have a good tone to be inspired and stuff. I totally get that, but really as a player, you should be able to make anything work. It really doesn't matter, man, what kind of gear you have or whatever. I mean, if you plug into a deluxe reverb and you turn it up to 3 or 4 and you use just about anything, you should be able to get a solid tone out of that, you know. So that's kind of the thing. It's just, it's mind-blowing to me, like how obsessed people are with the gear when they cannot play. They cannot play guitar. They cannot play. And I don't know, man. I get it. It's fun and stuff, but you know, for me, like when I was learning to play, and I mean, hell, I'm still learning now, but you know, you're always going to be learning something as a player, you know. But for me, when I was really learning to play, like getting started, I really wanted to have a good foundation and a good source, you know, and really be able to actually play guitar before I was messing around with all the gear, you know, like all of that stuff. You know, there's so many great options out there now. There's so much stuff out there, but like, you know, I would rather much spend the money on taking lessons, learning from somebody like myself, rather than, you know, going out and buying another guitar pedal or something like this. Like if I couldn't really play, I'll just never really understand that. But that's just what people do, man. It's interesting. For me, like I would much rather learn more about my instrument and get better and everything rather than mess around with all the gear. You know, it's just, it's really, really pointless. So I really just kind of wanted to mention that, you know, because it is crazy. Like even guys here on YouTube, you know, they, you know, talk all this game about the gear and oh, this and that when they can't really play, you know. And for me, I would much rather be able to actually play guitar really well than worry about the gear. You know, it's just not really necessary at all. But anyways, let's see here. Vito's in the house. Hey man, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Says here, what's up, my man? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, man. All is good in the hood, man. I'm just chilling. I'm really tired, to be honest. I'm pretty jet lagged. I've been playing a lot. I had 2 gigs yesterday. I played in town, and then I played out in Lexington, Kentucky last night, and got back at, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning this morning. So I was just exhausted, and I'm still kind of feeling it a little bit now. But it was a really fun weekend and a really busy week. I've just been slammed with work. So I'm really thankful for all of that, and man, just been having a lot of fun. It's just been killer. So I have another really busy week coming up here this week. I'm teaching like crazy, and I'm also gigging like crazy, and I've just got a lot of stuff going on. So thankful for all the work. But yeah, let's see here, man. We have a great crowd here today, man. That's awesome, man. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I do want to take the time to mention, folks, that, this is a donation of time here with these live streams. Any and all support is really appreciated. If you guys want to throw a little love in the PayPal tip jar or the Venmo tip jar, or even a super chat here in today's live stream, any and all support is really, really appreciated. Again, this is a donation of time, and I literally make nothing on this. I just do this just to be able to connect with everybody here and just show my appreciation to everybody out there that supports my channel. This community is just absolutely amazing. I'm so thankful for everybody out there that supports me. I could not do it without you guys, and I'm forever thankful for that. So again, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening and watching my videos. It really means the world to me. So, but let's see here. Godson's in the house. Hey man, what's going on? Good to see you. Says here, good afternoon, Justin. Late today. What do you think about Tweed amps? Man, Tweed amps are great, man. You can't go wrong with a great like 5E3, the Tweed Deluxe. They sound great, man. I mean, they're really responsive to the guitar volume knob. They can be a little bit problematic, to be honest. They're not as like reliable, in my humble opinion, as like a blackface Fender. So that's kind of one of the only things I would say with it, but they're great, man. You can't go wrong. I mean, if you took a Tweed and mixed it in with like a blackface Deluxe or a Princeton Reverb or something like this, man, it's a great tone because it really complements each other really well. You get the blackface Fender, which is more of the mid-scooped kind of guitar tone, and then you have the Tweed Deluxe, which is very mid-heavy, So when you combine both of those together, like with a stereo setup, like I've done that a bunch in the past, because my pedal board allows me to do a stereo setup, so I can feed 2 amps, which is really cool. So if I wanted to have like a stereo chorus or a delay or something like this off of my Line 6 effects pedal, I can feed 2 amps and feed a Tweed Deluxe and a Princeton Reverb or Deluxe or something like this, and it's just a killer tone, man. It's just awesome. You get the really wide chorus effect if that's what you're using, or a wide delay, and then you also get the blend of both amps together, which is really cool. So they're great, man. Tweed amps are a killer for sure. They're awesome. But yeah, man, great question. And it looks like here we've got a super chat here from Vito. Thanks so much, Vito. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. But yeah, folks, once again, I mean, this is a donation of time. So if you guys would like to contribute, check out all of the links that I have down below in the description box. I offer one-on-one online lessons. Send me an email, jkm4231@gmail.com. I also have a Venmo and PayPal tip jar. So if you want to throw just a little love in the tip jar there, be sure to click on that and send me a little love in the tip jars there, or even a super chat here in today's live stream. Is really appreciated. Any and all support is really appreciated. It's just amazing with these lessons what it's turned into. I'm teaching people from all over the world, and it's just been excellent. And this is literally the exact setup that I use for these lessons, by the way, folks. All of this stuff it's all pro video and pro audio, and it just works incredibly well, man. It's just amazing. So send me an email, jkm4231@gmail.com. It's linked down below. And also, I am offering a Patreon page as well, which the Patreon page is going to be a lot different from the one-on-ones, It's basically just going to be like little mini lessons on my YouTube music intros. It's not going to be, it's basically going to be like a private like Instagram page essentially, where maybe I'll post like some video clips of me playing, or I'll do like a little breakdown or something like this. It's going to be a totally different experience from my one-on-one lessons. And I thought about maybe doing like a once a month live stream as well. So these are all just kind of ideas, but be sure to check that out as well. It's a little more affordable than my one-on-ones, but again, it's going to be a totally different experience than my one-on-ones. But thanks so much, Vito. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. Sorry, my phone's blowing up here. It's just getting a little distracted. But yeah, folks, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. Again, thank you all so much for being here. I've already been going here for just about an hour now, a little under. But man, it's crazy, man. These always just fly by, man, for sure. It's wild. And man, I tell you what, we've had a great crowd here. So I think this is a pretty good time to be doing this live stream. And it really works well for me too. Because it's just really difficult. I know that I was doing those live streams at like 11 in the morning, but man, it was just so hard to follow through with doing that at that time because I travel so much on the weekends, and it's just difficult. Like a lot of the time I will be back in town, but I'm so tired that it's just hard for me to make that work. And sometimes too, I am still traveling back on Sundays. So just a hard time to make work, but I think 7 p.m. really works well. So, but let's see here. Godson says here, yeah, I play with a 67 Deluxe reverb with Brown Deluxe in stereo, and it's amazing. I'm thinking maybe to get a Tweed instead of the Brown. Did you have any phase issue with your stereo delay? No, there's no phase issue. I have a custom interface box that's underneath the pedal board that Exact Tone Solutions made for me here in Nashville. And there's a phase switch on there and a lift and all that stuff. So there's no phasing issues, but that is something to look out for sure. There's another box too that you could do. Like you don't need to have the interface. I just like to have it because I can patch everything up just on the side of the pedal board. And, I don't have to run external boxes or anything like this. But there's a company called Layla, or however the hell you say it. It's just Lehle, and they make a box called the P-Split, and that works really well for doing stereo. It'll fix all of the phasing issues, and you really got to make sure, that's a great point, if you're going to do the stereo thing, you really have to make sure that both of these amps are in phase, because if they're not in phase, you will know. I mean, it sounds terrible. So you really got to make sure that they're in phase. So the Layla stuff, they make amazing stuff. So check that out if you're having phase issues. Let's see. Vito says here, have you ever owned, used, or considered a rack-style rig? No, man, I would not want to mess with that. I mean, I tell you, I have a 4-space rack already that has my wireless system in it, and it is honestly a pain in the ass to haul that thing around, man. It sucks. I mean, it's just heavy, it's bulky, it just sucks. I mean, I like a pedal board, and I like to have the pedals in front of me, so I can tweak them on the fly. I wouldn't want to have my pedals in a rack that's 50 feet away from me or something, or 100 feet away from me or something, that side stage, and then use like a MIDI switcher. Like, I don't like that. I like to be able to actually turn the knobs and tweak stuff on the fly. Like, I want to be able to, mess with all of this stuff. I wouldn't want to have it like all preset. So I'm always going to be a pedal board guy. That's just what I like. And, moving around these, big, giant rack systems and stuff, like, I would not want to mess with it. I mean, I have a 4 space rack, like I was saying, and even that thing is a pain in the ass to move around, man. It sucks. But it's cool at least because I have it in a fly rack that SKB makes. And, it has a pull-out handle and you can, it's on wheels and stuff. So at least that's cool. But it's just real bulky and just heavy, man. And it just drives me nuts. Like, to be honest, I thought about maybe taking my wireless out and just, having just the wireless unit just by itself. But with that rack, I have a voltage regulator. And this is something that I would really say to people out there, like, you should really consider the power situation and really consider using one of these voltage regulators, because what's really cool with this thing is, it's really expensive and it's not the most like fun gear purchase ever, but it's amazing because when you're out there on the road, you would be amazed at how a lot of these massive stages are powered. And, finding dirty power and inconsistent power is so common as you're out there on the road. It's incredible. And for me, I like to just have a consistent 120, voltage coming out of the wall. And sometimes, man, like, it'll read way less or a lot more. And for me, I like to just have consistency at 120 because it'll really save the life of the tubes. And it'll just make sure that all of your gear is just seeing consistent power. And this is a huge thing as you're out there on the road because, again, like, you could plug up into dirty power where your amp is like sagging down. It's like not as powerful, and because it's not getting enough voltage or whatever. So, having the voltage regulator has just been amazing. So I like to bring that out, again, just for the consistency of it, because you would be amazed at how often you come across dirty power, So I have one of those, and then I have a Shure wireless that I like to use. And, the Shure wireless, it definitely affects the guitar tone a little bit, and you have to mess around with how much gain that it's adding, because it will add a lot of gain. So you're going to have to subtract, a good amount of gain, probably like, 6-7 dB, something like this, to at least get it close to the original guitar sound. Of course, there's nothing better than an actual cable. But for me personally, I like to perform with a wireless, I like to be able to move around on stage and not be tied up with the cable and stuff. And, the Shure wireless, it does work really well, It's very consistent, and it's one of these digital wirelesses, so you can just simply scan for the best available channel, and it'll automatically do this. So you literally just press the scan button, and it literally will automatically find the best available wireless channel. And I tell you, man, I do that before playing, and it just works, man. It's so consistent. I've never had a dropout with that thing, ever. Now, the Shure pedal wireless, that thing is not good. I've had a lot of issues with that thing. So I tried to use that because I wanted to just be able to throw a pedal wireless, because sometimes I'll play some clubs and stuff where I just don't want to have to bring a rack. But man, that pedal wireless was not the same, man. It was so different than my rack wireless. I was honestly amazed at how different it was. I had a lot of issues with that thing, but I think it's called the GLX or something. No, I think that's the pedal. Maybe it's the ULX or something like this. I'll have to look at it again, but it's just the rack mount Shure wireless. And man, that thing works amazing. But sorry for the long-winded answer, but yeah, I mean, I do have a small 4U rack that I bring out, and then, but honestly, it's a pain in the ass, and I would not want to do that. Because again, for me, I like having the pedals in front of me, where I can tweak stuff on the fly. I wouldn't want to run like a MIDI switcher and have my pedals way away from me. So, but anyways, man, I really appreciate everybody's support. This has really been an amazing live stream. We've had some amazing people. We have a lot of people joining up here today, and really great questions. So thank you guys so much for this. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. If you guys would like to contribute to the channel, be sure to check out all of the links that I have down below in the description box. I offer one-on-one online lessons, and I'm teaching people from all over the world. I have a Venmo or a PayPal tip jar, so if you want to throw a little love in the tip jars, check that out. If you want to throw a little super chat here in today's live stream, any and all support is really appreciated. Again, with these live streams, I don't make anything on this stuff. So, it's really just a donation of time. But I like to do this because I know a lot of my fans like to hear me, go live here and, ask questions and stuff like this. So, I feel it's the least that I could do just to show my appreciation for everybody out there that watch my videos. It really, really means so much to me. And, I'm forever thankful to everybody out there. So, I don't really mind donating my time at all, but that said, it is a donation of time. So, if you would like to contribute, check out all the stuff down below in the description box there. I really appreciate it. But yeah, folks, a little while ago, for those that are just joining up, I wanted to mention and share with you all this telly. I showed it a little bit ago here, but this here is just a road-worn Fender telly. And, it's just made in Mexico, but this is one of the first generation road-worn tellies. So that would be from like 2008 to 2009. This here is a 2009, and I really have to tell you guys, these guitars are phenomenal. They're really, really good instruments. This guitar is very lightweight. It sounds killer. The bridge pickup is phenomenal. And man, it just plays so good, man. The neck feels amazing. The frets feel good. It's a very light guitar as well. And I've just been so happy with it, I want to change out these saddles and put on the Music City Bridge saddles here, just so I can get the intonation totally dead on perfect. So I would recommend that if you do get one of these. But man, you put those saddles on this with this guitar, man, it's phenomenal. It's a great build, and I just love these guitars, man. Honestly, I like this guitar more than the custom shop Fenders that they're making. Honestly, I really feel they're amazing. And, for around $1,000, you cannot go wrong with these instruments, man. They're just excellent. So if you look for the first generation road-worn Fenders, the Tellys and the Strats, it would be from 2009 to 2008 to 2009, sorry. And the way that you tell this is you just look at the serial number and you'll see like an MZ, and then there'll be either an 8 or a 9. And if it's 8, it'll be 2008. If it's 9, it'll be 2009. So that's how you tell that. But I'm actually buying a Strat tomorrow here in town that I'm pretty excited about. But what I'm going to be doing for out on the road is I'm just going to be bringing this, a road-worn Strat, and then an R9 Les Paul. And I think that should really cover a lot of the ground, a lot of the tones that I need for a lot of the music that I get hired on for here. So I'm pretty excited about that. But this guitar has just blown my mind, man. It's just excellent. And I really recommend these instruments to all you guys out there. These are amazing. So check them out. If you can find them, try to find a first generation one, 2008 or 2009. And because they started changing stuff up with these as they kept making them. So I try to find the first generation ones. But man, I tell you, these are excellent, excellent instruments, man. They're just killer. So pretty excited about it. I actually just took a chance on it. I found it online, and I didn't even get a chance to plug it in or play it before buying it. I just was like, what the hell? I'll just give it a shot and try it out. And I'm amazed that this thing made it in one piece. I was sharing the story a little bit ago here in today's live stream, but the guys that sent me this thing, they just bubble wrapped it with very thin bubble wrap and only like 2 layers across the entire instrument. And the headstock was actually pointed to the bottom of the box. And there was just a little bit of paper on the very bottom there. So I'm amazed that this thing made it in one piece. But I'm very glad that it made it in one piece because I've just been loving this guitar, man. It's just killer. So this is a road-worn, it's a 2009 Telly. And it's completely stock. And just kicks ass, man. It's just great. So I've been really happy with that. Oh, and also another thing is I still have those pedals available for sale. If you check out my spring cleaning video that I posted here on YouTube, I still have those available for sale. So if you guys are interested, just send me an email, jkm4231@gmail.com. There's a lot of really good stuff there. I have a bunch of Analog Man modded Boss pedals and some Maxon pedals and stuff. And man, I tell you, it's really great stuff. So check out that stuff. The 68 plexis are spoken for, and the Les Paul Special is spoken for. But I still have those pedals available for sale. So if you guys are interested, just hit me up. I would prefer to sell those to somebody that is going to just buy the whole lot, rather than having to ship out individual pedals. And also only within the US, because I just don't want to mess with having the stuff locked up in customs or something like this. I could just see it being a nightmare. So just US only. I'm sorry to those out there that are in different countries, but I just want to keep it US only. So again, go and check out that video, and if you guys are interested in it, just shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to work up a deal. So, but anyways, or no, I already answered this. Vito says here, I've been gigging with gigging. Okay, you mean here? I've been gigging with 90s MIJ guitars for a while. You can get lowball deals. Fender and or Squiers are killer after pickup swaps in most cases. Yeah, man. There's some that are cool. For me, I just prefer the road worn, especially like the first generation. They're just really inspiring to play, man. They really did such a good job with those guitars, man. Like, I was just blown away with how good that this guitar was, man. It's excellent. And I really feel those road worn in particular are actually better than the modern custom shops that they make in the US that are like 4,000 or 5,000, to be honest. But let's see here. We got Ty in the house. Hey, Ty, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Says here, I'm late. Hey, Justin. Hope all is well. All is good, dude. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, just busy. I've been gigging like crazy. I'm a little jet lagged here today. I've had a really busy week, and I have another crazy week coming up here. Yesterday, I played here in town at 11 in the morning, and then after leaving that gig, I played out in Lexington, Kentucky last night. And man, I didn't get back home until like 4 or 5 in the morning this morning. So it was just a late night and just a little jet lag for sure. But I'm here and happy to be here for sure. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. But man, I've already been going here for about an hour and 8 minutes here. Really appreciate all the support, folks. This has just been an amazing live stream. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we've had some amazing questions here today. If you guys would like to support the channel, be sure to check out all of the links that I have down below in the description box. There's all kinds of ways you can support the channel. I offer one-on-one online lessons, and you're actually seeing and hearing the exact setup that I use for these lessons. It's all shot in a 4K definition camera with Pro Video and Pro Audio. And what's so cool with these lessons is that you'll actually get a recorded copy of the lesson itself at the very end. So you could just simply download the video and rewatch it as many times as you want. So it's really amazing. If you guys want some more information on this, just send me an email at jkm4231@gmail.com. It's linked down below in the description box. And if you guys would like to throw a little love in the Venmo or PayPal tip jar, that's also linked down below there as well. These live streams are truly a donation of time. I don't make anything on this stuff whatsoever. But, I like to give back to all my fans out there, and I like to just hang out with you guys and show my appreciation to everybody out there that watches my videos and supports my channel. This community has completely changed my life, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So, again, if you guys would like to support the channel, though, check out all of the stuff that's linked down below in the description box. There are all kinds of ways that you can support this channel. So there's that there. But, if you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to leave it there in the chat box. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep going for. as I was saying, I'm pretty tired, to be honest. I've just been working so much lately, and like I say, I had a really late night last night, but a lot of fun, man. It's been really cool. It's just been super busy, and this coming week, man, I've got a lot of stuff going on. It's fun here in Nashville around this time of the year because Nashville just really starts to get turned up, man. It just starts to get crazy. I mean, people start visiting like crazy. I have all kinds of friends that are coming into town here, and it's just great. So slow season is definitely over with for sure. We normally have that like every year during the winter time, and it's always like the winter blues. It always kind of sucks, but now is the time, man. I mean, this is just the prime time here in Nashville. So April through the summer and through the fall and stuff, it'll be really good. So really excited about that, and I have some friends that are visiting in town this week actually. So pretty excited about that. Pretty excited to see them, and got another week full of gigs and teaching lessons and just super busy. So all is good. But let's see here. We got Scott in the house. Hey, Scott. How's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Says here, working equals earning. Yep, that's right. And Ty says here, you ever played an American G&L guitar? I've played a couple G&Ls. They're cool. Yeah, they're not bad. They're definitely cool. I mean, for those that are on a budget, man, I mean, I don't know how much that those are going for actually off the top of my head. I remember they were affordable. It's been quite some time since I played one, but I tell you, man, these road worn, the first generation Fenders, I can't say enough good things about them. They're just excellent, man, for the money. You cannot go wrong with them. And to be honest, I like this Tele better than a lot of the custom shop ones that I've played. Again, the road worn Fenders are just excellent, especially the first generation. They started changing up some stuff a little later on. They started using different woods and stuff, and I don't like them as much. But that first generation, the 2008 through 2009 instruments were just excellent. Really, really good guitars for sure. So definitely check them out. Oh, man. But, yeah. Man, I think that's about it for today, folks. I really appreciate everybody joining me here today in today's live stream. It, once again, really means the world to me that you guys join up. Come on back and join me next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be live once again. Have your questions ready. I'm happy to answer them. And, be on the lookout for some more videos I'm going to be posting here shortly on YouTube. I've got a bunch of cool stuff coming up, and some really cool stuff happening for sure. I've had some really good meetings with some really big people, which is cool. And, I'm just excited, man. I have a lot of ideas for cool content that's, is going to be coming up here shortly. So stay tuned for all that. And I think that's really about it, though, for today, folks. I really appreciate it once again. Be on the lookout for all the new content that I have coming up. And, if you guys would like to support the channel, check out all of the links down below in the description box. There are all kinds of ways to support the channel. And, come on once again and join me next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be live once again here from my home studio in Nashville. But that's all for today, folks. I really appreciate it as always. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time.